it's Starkiller 1 here. I'm just going to make a very quick video. This is exactly the sort of video I hate because it's a whole sequence of photos and the person talking. But I was considering making an HAAT video about this team. And to be honest, Sir Georgeous from the Republic, he's just done it already. It's a much better video than I could ever make. It's better explained, it looks better, so I'm not going to embarrass myself. I am going to put a link in my description to his video because it's just awesome, so respect to him. I do a few things a bit different from him, and I have actually played a lot of different combinations. I've gone with a super slow Thrawn and a super fast Luke. I've gone with a fast Thrawn, which works better than you might imagine, and a slow Luke, but a super fast Akbar. That means Luke's just going a lot, and you just put a ton of damage on Luke. So you can actually switch Luke up to being a much heavier damage dealer and relying less on Ventress. There's a lot of combinations. I'm just going to talk you through how I got to this team, a little bit different from everybody else. So there we go. Right, there's my kind of first real attempt. This was a long time ago. Almost as soon as these characters were available and I'd managed to gear them. The last of which really was BB-8 because Ventress I had for a long time. I'm a big Night Sisters fan. I'd started using variations on this team to try and deal with P3. Everybody hates P3, or at least we used to. Now we love it. Grand Imperial Maneuver, or Grand Imperial Maneuver with Commander Luke. Now this team, P3 is now just not a problem. So, I did it. My ambitions were low, and this was probably the first time I got significantly into P4 and went, hey, I got a long way into P4 before I blew it away with the clones. Then we sort of went and did, where can we start in P2? Now, this one was slightly interesting because I'd kind of done a deal with my guild that I'd start in P2. They let me have a wind up into it, and then I kind of suicided at the end of P3. This was a more legitimate attempt. This is the first time I really started to do well with this team, and at the time we're starting to see a couple of people talking about this team, but with Raid Han Solo instead of Ventress, and they were putting up some big numbers. I don't have Raid Han Solo Zated. I don't have him geared. I like Han Solo, but you can't gear every character. You can't Zage for every character. Do I regret it? Maybe, but I'm dealing with those Han Solo teams in the arena, so I seem to be okay at the moment. If I have a spare Zeta sometime, I'll throw up a spare Zeta. If not, then that's fine. Okay. What I've got here is another run. This was P3, P4. Another run, getting a little bit better at it. And you can see I'm starting to put up some big damage in P2 now as well. So I'm getting pretty kind of confident. More confident. Overconfident. Oops. This one, I realised I'd blown it. The rest of the guild were ploughing through. I'd already seen the little thing in the corner that said phase 2 over, so I thought, oh, okay, I've messed that one up today. Rescued my Akbar, rescued my Ventress, and used Ventress with Night Sisters to have a bit of fun, and tried Akbar with some other rebels again, having a little bit of fun. I have a feeling Raid Han actually did get to do a raid that day. Anyway, that set me up, and then my amazing family of guilds, Armands, who set up the family of Chaos. I'm in the Society of Chaos as an officer. I used to be in Legions of Chaos as an officer until I moved across to help Society build up. And I am one of our kind of Chaos elites. Then we go and help the smaller guilds in the family when they're struggling. So, these guys lost a few members. They were struggling for an HAAT. They got tickets piling up. So I went over and they very kindly let me set it up the way I wanted to. That just meant that 2 or 3 really big damage dealers had to wait and start their damage after I'd started shooting. And as you saw at the beginning, that was the outcome. I actually think there's a lot more that can be done. I know I can go from the very start of P1 to 50% of P2 with this team. And I know, I'm going to show you now, that over 65% of P2 is possible with this team. Because when we were doing some testing, this was the biggest outcome on the test. And that was just immense. Yeah, that was a really kind of satisfying. I've got to be honest, the RNG was perfect. It could not have worked out better. Every time BB-8 went, it called Commander Luke. Almost Akbar virtually never had a turn that wasn't his own. The timing of Illuminated Destiny and Thrawn's Fracture worked out. This was done with a slow Thrawn. I will highlight this particular one was done with a slow Thrawn, because I'm advocating a fast Thrawn, fast Akbar, because it just means you spend less time doing the raid, to be honest. But this particular one was done with a slow Thrawn, so the person who eventually gets the final record at this is probably going to be running a slow Thrawn. Okay, these are actually the mod setups from the early 30,000, 30 million run, because I've mixed the mods up a lot. I happen to have these pictures because I posted them to the other elites on my group, because they were all building similar teams and wanted to see. So that just gives you a chance to see what those were doing. Like I said, much better video makers than I have, and far more experienced theory crafters than me have already done a great job of doing a video on this. But I wanted to throw it out there. Bit of an ego stroke for me, so bad on me. At the same time, pretty cool. So I hope you enjoy it. I had a lot of fun doing it. I don't think raids are really about one team dominating everything. I think it is a team effort. It's time for a new raid, guys. Come on, let's go, EA. Bring us a new raid. Bring us a ship raid. Bring us a raid of Naboo. Bring us a raid that gets a Snoke. At the moment, I'd take Jar Jar. I love the raids. Let's have more of them. Thank you. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you next time.